Good day, grade 2. Welcome to our discussion in English 2. How Mount Banahaw get its name, that is the story. The lesson is sounds of the vowel in words and parts of the books. So, after this discussion, you are expected to identify the parts of the book, list the initial and medial and final sounds of a word heard, recognize the common terms in English relating to part of the book, cover, title, page, etc., or book orientation, and identify one's responsibilities in the family. So look at the picture. Describe what's happening in the picture. So the boy is paying respect to his grandmother. Okay, so our story for today is how Mount Banahaw get its name. So how do you show respect to your elders? You show it by helping them, by hugging them, by obeying their rules, by obeying their rules and all the things that they say. Okay, so now we are going to read or listen to this story about Limbas. So find out what happened to him when he forget to show respect.
Let's have unlocking difficulties. So these are the words that we can see or hear from our story for today. First one, midnight. What do we mean by midnight? The middle of the night, specifically 12 o'clock at night. Second, paradise. What do we mean by paradise? A very beautiful, pleasant, or peaceful place that seems to be perfect. Third, spirit. A supernatural being. Lastly, disappointed. Someone or something that fails to satisfy hopes or expectations. Are you ready to listen to our story for today? Our story for today is entitled How Banahaw Got Its Name. And now let's start to read our story. Long ago, in the middle of the island of Luzon, there was a big mountain. At the foot of this mountain lived a small family. The father's name was Lugban, while the mother's name was Bayabas, and their only child was named Limbas. Limbas likes to hunt in the forest. Every time he came home, he would bring different kinds of meat. Because of this, the family was never hungry. One day, Limbas went out again. He told his parents he would come home early, but he did not return. Why Limbas did not return? What do you think happened to him? Lukman and Bayabas became worried. They could not sleep and eat. They prayed that Limbas would be safe. What happened to Limbas? Do you think Limbas would return to his home? Let us see. Finally, after a week, Limbas returned. He kissed his parents' hands and told them that he was fine. They were glad and amazed at what Limbas brought home. Why his parents amazed with what he brought? In his bag there were beautiful clothes and delicious food. His parents asked him where he got it from. A spirit of the forest gave them to me, Limbas said. Where does this god live? His parents asked. In a paradise. It has all kinds of animals and fruits. It also has tall trees and clear streams. The spirit was very nice to me, Limbas said. After that, Limbas would sometimes stay with the forest spirit. Each time he came back home, he would kiss the hands of his parents first and give them different gifts. This was because the forest spirit told Limbas that he should always respect his parents. One time, the forest spirit gave Limbas a sack of gold. He was excited because he thought the gold would make them rich. In his excitement, he forgot to kiss his parents' hands first. Instead, he showed them his bag. But when he did, the sack of gold was gone. What they saw inside were anahaw leaves. He cried. It was said that Limbas' cries were heard all over Luzon. Since then, the people started calling the mountain near the family's house Banahaw, while the names of the two towns near Banahaw were called Tugban and Bayabas. As for Limbas, he had learned his lesson. Every time he came home from hunting, he would kiss his parents' hands first and tell them that he loved them. And that is the end of our story for today. I hope you learned a lot.
So in the story of Limbaw, we heard different words with different sounds of the vowel. So now, we're going to talk about the sounds of the vowel in words. So we already know about vowels and consonants. Do you know that vowels can be placed at the beginning, middle, or end of the word? So now, let's talk about the initial sounds. So initial sounds are sounds that we hear at the beginning of each word. It means that the vowel is in the beginning of the word, just like this one. Example, elephant. The first word start with the vowel. Next is, very good, ant. Next one is eel. Very good. All the vowel in this word or all the beginning of each word is start with a vowel. So this is the initial sound. Next is the middle sound. Middle sounds are sounds that we hear in the middle of the word. We also hear vowel sounds in the middle of words. So read the example below. So first one, this is a clock. So the vowel is in the middle. Next is the sun. And the last one is plan. So those are some example of medial sound. Another one or last one is the final sound. So the final sounds are sounds that we hear at the end of each word. We sometimes hear vowel sounds at the end of the word. So first one, the first picture, the man is doing, or he is skiing or ski. The vowel is in the end. Next is tree. Very good. And the last one is shoe. So those are the sounds of the vowel in the word. So we have the initial sounds, the middle sound or the medial sound, and the final sounds. Now let's move on to the parts of the book. The first part of the book is the cover. Cover is the outside wrapping of a book. So we have here the book. The cover is this one. The one that protects the book. That is the cover. Next is the title. Title is the name of the book. Just like in here, we have here the title. That is the title, which is Birds. Next is the author. So author is the person or persons who wrote the book. So another part of the book is the author. So where can we find the author? We usually find the author in the cover. So just like this one, we find the author in here is this one by Emma Grizzly. Emma is the author of the Birds. So next one is the illustrator. So illustrator is the person or persons who draw the picture in the book. So we can find the illustration at the beginning or at the cover. So the illustrator is this one. We can see that there is illustrated by, and the name after that is the illustrator. So next is the illustration. Illustration is the picture seen in the book. So that is the illustration. The picture that drawn by the illustrator. That is illustration. Next is the spine. So where is the spine? Spine is the edge of the book that you see when it is on the shelf. So that is the spine. Next is the table of contents. Table of content is the list of topic or chapters and the page they can be found. So table of contents can help us to easily find the subject or the topic that we want to know. So this is an example of table of contents. So we have here the table of contents, the topics, and the pages. So that is it. Those are the parts of the book. I hope you remember it. So that is the end of our discussion in English. Thank you for watching and listening. Till next time.